This is John Scrutter with Behind the Panels, and we're here with creator of Hellboy, Mike Mignola. How you doing today, Mike?
Good.
How's the show?
You're here with what's left of me.
Yeah. How's the show been for you this weekend?
It's been very, very busy.
So you've transcended from comics into film and, you know, the world of Hollywood, essentially. How has that transition been for you as just a creator of a comic book, going into film and doing other things?
I mean, it was very interesting. It was a fun experience. It's not what I ever expected to do. And after banging around on a couple movies, I'm very happy to be back in the studio drawing the comic.
Okay. Now, I spoke with you in 2010 at Boston, and you said that you're done doing comics, but now you're back. And
did I say I was done doing comics?
Well, you said that you're not doing comics anymore, and you were speaking mostly about the movies and things like that at the time.
Oh, I think you could have heard me wrong, unless you've got it on tape, because I never wanted to be a movie guy.
Okay.
It might have been at that period. What I was probably saying is I was writing.
Okay.
Yeah, the film stuff, that was always going to be a brief thing. I'm not a film guy. I'm not cut out to be a film guy. Was very happy to help out on the Hellboy stuff, but it was never a business I was looking to get into. So, especially after the second Hellboy film, I was very relieved to get back in the studio. Granted, I was writing mostly for a while, but right now I'm just thrilled to be back, actually writing and drawing the comic myself.
Fantastic. Is that something that you're looking at doing full-time from here on out, just sticking with the comic book all the way through?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that other things will come up that will take me away from the comic for a little while. There's no plan to do anything else. Ideally, I'd love to just sit and, every day and draw the comic. But, heaven forbid, if another movie popped up and somebody wanted me to work on it, that might happen. But I can't imagine any of that kind of stuff happening right now. So I'm for the foreseeable future, I'm very happy doing the comic.
Okay. Getting into the business initially, when you started with Hellboy, what were your influences, artistic influences coming in versus what they are now?
Well, I mean, it's pre-Hellboy. I mean, when I started, artistic influences, I used to want to be Frank Frazetta. That went on for years. Then I wanted to be Bernie Wrightson for a bunch of years. Then I went through a couple-year phase where I wanted to be a different guy every 2 days. And I studied a lot of guys. I studied a lot of really good guys. But at some point, you have to kind of mash all that stuff together and become, your own guy. So, God, I guess even before Hellboy, I mean, that's going back 20 years, I kind of started to figure out what I wanted my stuff to look like.
So essentially, I mean, and I think it's safe to say every artist is a magpie when they start out, copying somebody else's work.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to, just appear out of nowhere, whether you fess up to it or not. I mean, I think the trick is, to be a really good artist, is you got to look at a lot of stuff, and you got to keep, it's nice if you can keep growing too, but sadly, and I see a lot of it in comics, you see guys that are imitating one guy. So you're like, oh, you're the third best Jim Lee, or you're the fifth best Jim Lee. The trick is bring influences from different artists, mash it together. And I love when people ask me who my influences are, because it means they can't tell.
Well, it does seem that from the outset that you do have a distinct style all your own. And Jeremy Bastian notes you as his favorite artist of all time. And,
really?
Yes.
Wow, holy crap, that's pretty good.
He says that all his work is pale in comparison to yours because you make it look so effortless and seamless, and you just know exactly where to put all your lines.
Certainly my stuff looks effortless compared to Jeremy's.
Now, you did have a break between doing the book and the films, and now you're back to doing the book. So what are your post influences now that you've been around for quite some time and been in the artistic field for a while? Who do you look at now?
Oh, I look at stuff now. I still look at a lot of painters. I've kind of been more influenced by painters and film than comics. I look at comics for enjoyment, but I've kind of settled. It's a nice position to be in. I've settled into knowing who I am and how I do stuff, so I'm not seeing guys now going, oh wait, maybe I should be that guy. I'm kind of stuck being me.
Okay.
So, old silent movies are a big influence on me right now. Certain painters are a big influence on me. Not that you would necessarily see that in the work, but I'm stuck being me now.
Well, it's arguably more important, or just as important, the writing. What were your influences for your writing style?
Well, I don't know that I have a writing style. God, I don't know. I mean, I never set out to be a writer. I just started making up my own stories, so I got to draw what I wanted. But I guess what I did realize, Michael Moorcock, who I'd read a lot of when I was in high school, some of that all that doomed hero stuff, I realized I think that did inform the shape of the whole Hellboy universe.
So it may have been a generational thing, swords and sorcery, fantasy, that time frame.
Yeah, but again, not all of it. Moorcock in particular was probably the biggest guy, and again, I wasn't conscious of it. I just realized, I think that's where I got that.
Mike, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, thank you.